Welcome back. Skid Row Housing Trust, a Los Angeles County health agency, has a new apartment building that experts are calling a national model for reducing homelessness. The $18 million Housing for Health program wants to get about 10,000 of the country's most vulnerable people off the streets and into permanent housing. The 102-unit housing complex opened just last week. It features a community garden, library, running track, and an art room for tenants. The complex's main goal, of course, is to combat the downtown area's homeless crisis. Residents will pay 30% of their income to stay at the apartment. City housing funds will subsidize the remainder of the rent cost.
Can a single young girl change the world? Well, this 17-year-old proves it might be possible.
After being almost shot to death in 2012 by a Taliban gunman while going back from school in Afghanistan, Malala Yousafzai has become a different kind of popular girl. She inspires young women around the world to fight for the education they deserve. Her recovery was closely followed by the media. She has spoken in the UN Youth Assembly, wrote a bestseller book. She has been a nighttime show guest, voted one of Time magazine's most influential teens in 2014. There are even rap videos about her on YouTube. And now Malala is the youngest Peace Nobel Prize winner in the history.
So I'm thankful to my father for not clipping my wings, for letting me to fly and achieve my goals.
This remarkable teenager is not wasting time.
Every girl deserves a complete education, and every girl deserves to take part in creating the technology that will change our world and change who runs it.
She is taking advantage of her freshly unwrapped accolade to encourage girls to get involved in technology. For the Met Report, Janice Carrasquel.
Groundbreaking news from the Vatican. Nearly 200 bishops met with Pope Francis to discuss a possible policy change. A new document from the Catholic Church says gays and lesbians have gifts and qualities to offer the Christian community. This summit is just the first step in the process of reviewing the Church's doctrine. This possible change may take full effect in about a year. The Denver Archdiocese released a statement saying, quote, "There are many good points made in the published report, but there is still a lot of discussion to take place and a lot of points that need to be addressed."
Pumpkin history has been made. Normally pumpkins weigh around 10 to 16 pounds and are a foot in diameter. But this year's largest Colorado pumpkin belongs to Gary Grande of Littleton. Weighing in at 1,170 pounds, this Goliath gourd gained attention in the Rocky Mountain Giant Vegetable Growers Club. The largest pumpkin ever grown was by Swiss Benny Meyer, who broke his own record this year with a pumpkin weighing at 2,096 pounds. The local pumpkins that Grande and his colleagues grow are on display at Jared's Nursery in Littleton.
A raisin and apple isn't a parent's only worry this Halloween. Marijuana candy edibles are a new concern, and Denver police are cautioning parents to watch the candies their kids eat. The police department posted a video featuring Patrick Johnson, the owner of Urban Dispensary, showing the concerning physical similarities in the pot knockoff candy brands. Parents are advised to throw out candy in unfamiliar or opened wrappers.
What's happening a lot with the edible manufacturers who have focused on a hard or a soft candy is that the most cost-effective way for them to bring that to the market is to use knockoff candy. And so they'll buy it in bulk form, and they infuse it by using viscous hash oil. They spray that onto the candy, and once that candy dries, there's really no way to tell the difference between infused and candy that's not infused.
The full-length video can be found on YouTube under Halloween Marijuana Edibles Warning.
Is the sky falling? Well, it appears to be in Secaucus, New Jersey. Employees at the town's wastewater treatment plant reportedly witnessed a mysterious object fall from the sky. The 5x5-inch tile is made of ceramic, metal, and rubber, according to the county health officials. The tile appears to be a piece from a space shuttle, but no shuttles have been in orbit for the past 3 years. The FAA is investigating exactly where the object came from.
A tragic occurrence on April 20th, 1999 at Columbine High School inspired a new play in New York City. The story of Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold examines the thoughts of the two boys just before the massacre. Addison Goodell has the story.
The Earthlings explores the inner lives of Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, the perpetrators of the Columbine High School massacre, trying to dramatize the glimpse of recorded information about the boys found through research.
The production team as well as the playwright in the creation of it, still has respect and dignity and still honors the victims. But I do believe, hopefully, it will provide some insight or understanding into why these kind of tragic situations happen.
In the year planning before committing the massacre, the boys reflected on themselves in various ways. The Earthling gives you insight that can also be found in Violent American Psych that continually rears its ugly head in schools across the country.
That depending upon the structure of the play and the viewpoint and the perspective that it's taken, I definitely would look at that as a director. I think that we've tackled tragedies before in our lifetime, the Laramie Project, those type of shows, the ugly parts of the human element. I think it will be very tough and disturbing, and it is disturbing. One should be disturbed.
The Columbine shooting will never be forgotten. For the Met Report, I'm Addison Goodell.
Well, it may not feel like winter down here in Denver, but up in the mountains is a different story. Just this morning, one of Colorado's 28 ski resorts opened its lifts for the first time this season. Arapahoe Basin, or A-Basin, opened the intermediate high noon trail to skiers and riders today, making it the first ski area to open in the United States. A-Basin is located about 60 miles west of Denver on US Highway 6. The ski resorts started making snow on October 2nd and created the 18-inch base necessary for opening. The ski area also received about a foot of natural snow last weekend. So I don't know about you, Erica, but I'm really excited for the ski season coming up here. Do you ski or snowboard?
I have to confess, I've never been skiing or snowboarding, and I live in Colorado. I know, it's terrible. What should I start with? What do you think is easier?
I would say skiing.
Okay.
I think skiing is easier. Of course, that's a biased opinion, I guess.
Sure.
But I definitely would stick with skiing.
Okay, you'll have to teach me.
I will.
Now joining us for our political segment is Jocelyn Avendaño.
Aurora's ban on pit bulls has been controversial since its inception more than 8 years ago, but now voters will have a say whether they want to keep or repeal the ban. Proposition 2D, a measure to repeal the ban on pit bulls and other restricted breed dogs, is one of 4 city initiatives on the ballot this November. By far, the pit bull repeal question is drawing the most interest. On Saturday, a group led by Coloradans for Breed Neutral Dog Laws Incorporated held a rally urging people to vote to repeal the ban. However, Aurora City doesn't support repealing the ban. Aurora initially had prohibited 10 breeds in the city when the law was enacted, but a few years ago trimmed the list to pit bull terriers. Maybe by this November, the list can be trimmed to none. And this November, Coloradans will have the opportunity to vote on one of the most controversial ballot initiatives, Amendment 68. Amendment 68 would allow a new casino to be built at the Arapahoe racetrack where they will expand gaming and gambling, and to where racing and wagering has existed for decades. Proponents argue that over the past 6 years, Colorado schools has endured more than $1 billion in funding cuts, ranking Colorado near the bottom among all states in per pupil funding for education. This ballot initiative promises to improve the state economy and increase funding for K-12 public and charter schools, without a tax hike or cutting of existing services. They argue that Amendment 68 will increase school funding by more than $114 million each year. Opponents argue that Amendment 68 would bring problematic gambling to the Front Range and that it would benefit a single out-of-state company. They argue that it wouldn't tell school districts how to spend the money, but just leave it in the hands of administrators. Voters continue to have a lot of questions regarding Amendment 68, so it would be interesting to see if by November, Colorado will vote yes or no on Amendment 68. And speaking of ballot initiatives, more than 3.6 million ballots went to the post office Tuesday in Colorado's first mail-in only election for 3 national races. County voting offices have till today to get the ballots in the mail. Voting centers open October 20th and October 29th is the deadline to put ballots in the mail before the election on November 4th.
Lovely weekend we have coming up for us. Plenty of sunshine across the state. Down here to the south, Durango, Alamosa, a little bit cloudy with some chances of rain this Saturday. Up to the north though, 70s in Denver and DIA and some upper 60s in Boulder. Taking a look at Sunday, we've got pretty much the same thing across the state, plenty of sunshine. Down here in the south though, Durango, Alamosa, some nasty thunderstorms. So if you're planning on traveling down south, be prepared to get a little wet. Taking a look at our national maps, we've got a nice high pressure system hovering right above us, which is bringing us that warm weather. A little bit of precipitation to the south into New Mexico, but those storms should dissipate throughout the evening. Over to the east, we have a huge cold front lining the coast here, bringing with it rain and cold to our eastern friends. Those storms should last throughout the day. Taking a look at Sunday, pretty clear in Sunday across the U.S. Those storms from Saturday disappeared. Down here in the south, a little bit of lingering precipitation, but those storms are not severe and we should not be worrying about that. Let's take a look at what the week's got in store for us. Monday and Tuesday, we've got our highest temperatures at 75 degrees. Thursday, 63 is going to be our lowest. Lots of sunshine and our lows in the 40s. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, going to the Broncos game this weekend, it's going to be such a lovely, lovely weekend.
It's going to be great.
And I'm assuming this is probably going to be one of the last warm games we have at home because
probably true.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, winter is coming for sure.
Well, don't touch that remote. Up next, Melanie Townsend continues our Haunted series. Find out where our ghost hunters explored this week.